Good morning, Stu. How you doing, buddy? Did you want to come and join in? Hang on a minute. Let's see if we can get you up here too. Okay, Stu? Okay, where are we going? You're going to sit there, are you? You're going to sit there. Right, okay, well this could be interesting, couldn't it? Hi everybody, hello and welcome. Welcome to the Little Likac podcast, episode 68. My name's Amanda, and this one is Stu. And apparently he's joining me, at least for the beginning of the podcast. So welcome to the podcast. So it's episode 68. My name is Amanda, and I'm coming to you from Derby in the United Kingdom. I've got all set up ready to record up here this morning while my husband is out for a walk. And Stu has decided, because Dad's not home because he's gone out for a walk, Stu's decided he's got to come and be with me, but not just be with me, but actually sit on my lap right now. So there you go. We'll see how we get on. Right. Hello, lovely. So yes, this is a really exciting episode for me actually. So we've got lots of things to talk about, lots of things to celebrate. We've got prizes to give away, prizes to talk about. So let's start with, firstly, we have reached over 1,000 subscribers. Yay! It's taken nearly 3 years. April will be my 3rd anniversary, or podiversary. Stu, do you want to go down? Do you want to go down? No? Okay. I'm really sorry if he's distracting up there. Just the top of his head. Say hello, Stu. Say hello. Right, so yes, we've reached 1,000 subscribers, which is just amazing. So it'll be the podiversary at some point in April. Somewhere mid-April, I think. So thank you. It is a milestone. It is, YouTube itself sends you a little congratulations when you reach 1,000 subscribers. Yes, in theory you can monetize your account, but I don't think I'm going to be retiring. So that's kind of a side note. Although I'm not going to lie, it was quite exciting to press that button, but I'm not going to get rich on this. But yeah, I just feel like that 1,000 is feels like an achievement. So thank you if you have subscribed recently, and thank you as well for those of you that have been subscribers for nearly 3 years. Amazing. So yeah, I am really excited about that, reaching that 1,000. It just felt like a little bit of a vindication that you keep plodding away at something. And yeah, so thank you. So we are going to be doing a giveaway for that, and let's just talk about that now. Let's just do that now. So I went, where have I put my bag? Oh, I've had to shift things around, seeing as a certain person decided to come and join me. Right, so I have got a bag of a few goodies in here. So we are going to do a 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and to enter that you just need to leave a comment on this video. That's all. Any comment of any type, leave a comment on this video, and you will be entered to win. And international or UK, you all have the same chance of winning, and I will post it internationally if need be. So what will you win? Well, it's a little bit of a mystery. It is a mystery for some of you, not for everybody though. It is actually, I do have still one single skein of the Christmas Advent yarn, but it is wrapped up, so I'm not showing it to you. So this was the Christmas Day Advent yarn from the Little Likac Advent last year, 2023. So that is the prize. So it is a bit of a mystery prize. Obviously, I can tell you it is fingering weight 4-ply yarn. If you maybe have a look on my Instagram, you might see a picture of it. Obviously, if you got the Advent last year, if you got the Advent last year and you still want to enter, I'll replace it, and just let me know that you had bought the Advent, and I would send you a different skein instead. And maybe we'll have 2 winners. So yes, so that is the prize for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, which just amazing. So thank you for that. Talking of giveaways though, I am also going to be drawing for prizes for winners for our sock yarn make-along that we're doing at the moment, or Knitalong. So yeah, the Socksy and you know it, Knitalong. I'm going to be drawing 2 winners today from the Ravelry threads. The first one I'm going to draw will be from the finished objects for January. So these were socks that were started in January and finished by the end of February. They need to be an adult pair of knitted, I think I did say or crochet, an adult pair of knitted or crochet socks. And you had to have started them in January, finished them by the end of February. And to enter that, you need to post a finished object on the Ravelry thread in our Ravelry forum. However, if you don't use Ravelry, you're not sure how to do that, you can email me a picture of your finished socks and I will put that in the thread for you. And some people have done that and it's perfectly fine. At the moment, the February thread is still open, so if you started a pair of socks in February, you've got till the end of March to finish those, and you can post them in the February finished objects thread. The January thread is now closed, so you can't post any more into there. So the February one now is well and truly open. There's quite a few pairs of socks in there, so any pair of socks that you started in February, finish it by the end of March, pop it in the February post, and then if you start a pair of socks in March, obviously the March finished objects thread will, I've not set that up yet, it's the 2nd of March today. Apologies for me being a bit croaky, I have got some drinks down here. I will try and freshen up my throat. In fact, I should have a quick mouthful of drink now because I'm a bit croaky. Right, so talking about, not really helped has it, but talking about the Ravelry threads, let's do the prize winners for that. I have pulled out some sock yarn out of my stash as prizes. So we have two 50-gram balls of Drops Fable print, and that will be the prize for the winner that I'm going to pull now. So I'm going to go on to Ravelry. We are going to go to the finished items thread in the little Likac forum. So the Socksy January finished objects, we have got 71 posts in there. Now I suspect post number 1 will be me explaining what that thread is for, and I have got a couple of pictures in there as well of my, or one picture in there of my pair of socks for January. Obviously if I pull that we will redraw. So I'm going to ask my smart speaker, but I will edit out me saying that word so it doesn't set off everybody else's smart speaker. But I will ask my smart speaker to choose a number between number 2 and 71. Okay, so choose a number between 2 and 71.
Here's a number between 2 and 71. It's 31.
Okay, so number 31. Number 31 is K Milton 115 on Ravelry, and she has posted a picture of these other, they look a bit like a fan and feather design on this lovely sort of aqua blue pair of socks. So K Milton 115, okay, if you contact me on Ravelry, give me your, in fact actually let's just see if we can find out a bit more information. So these are, the pattern is the Winterfest socks by Kay Jones. Kay Jones is the one from Bakery Bears, isn't she? So it's they are the Winterfest socks, and she started them on January 15th, finished them on January the 25th. Can't see what yarn she used. And I can also see that this Ravelry user, she's in Canada, so these will be going off to Canada. That Drops Fable yarn. Okay, now we're also going to pull a winner as well from the chat thread. Okay, and so the winner, the person that I draw from that one, will receive this sock yarn, which is the Head Over Heels All Stars. Stylecraft Head Over Heels, and this is the colourway Red Pots. So let's draw from the chatter thread. So the chatter thread has 304 posts on there. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I will edit out me saying the name of my smart speaker. Choose a number between 2 and 304.
Here's a number between 2 and 304. It's 255.
Right, okay, so we're going to 255. 255 is Lynn Clary on Ravelry. Now, I have seen this lovely lady. I have seen lots of pictures of her whips actually on a couple of forums that I'm on Ravelry. So not only has she actually posted quite a few pairs of socks into the Socksy Cal, but I've also seen some of her whips and finished objects on the Yarn and Yarns 12 cast-ons as well. I'm sure she's been posting on there as well. So Lynn Clary, if you can message me as well, contact me on Ravelry, or you can email me. My email address is littlelikac@gmail.co.uk. No, littlelikac@gmail.com. So if you email me or send me a message on Ravelry, and we will be getting this one sent to you. And I'm not sure, she might be international as well. Let's see if I can see. No, I can't tell from this one particular, but she might be international. Anyway, so those are our two winners. I will be drawing from the February thread when we get into, it gets complicated now, doesn't it, when we get into April, and I will draw probably another winner from the chatter thread at that point. So we're probably going to be doing 2 prizes a month. Obviously I have got yarn I can give away, plenty of yarn I can give away, and I might buy some as well. If anybody though would like to donate anything in the way of something like a project bag or anything to give away, that would be great. I would love it. I am not a sewer. I can't make project bags, I'm afraid. Again, I might see if I can buy 1 or 2 items. And again, if we get any money coming through from the YouTube account, then you know I will put that money towards prizes and postage and things like that. Oh, and actually I have now started a Ko-fi account. I kind of set that up a month or 2 ago. The details are down below if anybody would like to donate anything to go. And again, anything that goes into, sorry Stu, thank you, anything from the Ko-fi account or the YouTube money will go towards prizes for the podcast, or postage for prizes for the podcast. What was I going to say? The YouTube, you can't even take any money out from the YouTube until you reach a certain amount of money anyway, and I have no idea how long it would take to reach that. So, you know, anyway, so I will do what I will, you know, for now, for the time being, I will be paying it out of my own money, which is, you know, my choice. But yeah, if anybody, I'd love it if anybody is good with the sewing machine and has, you know, maybe has made maybe a project bag or 2. That would be awesome to be able to give those away as prizes. Right, okay, so those are our prizes and giveaways. So exciting. Right, and talking about the Socksy and You Know It Cal, I have not opened my package for March yet. I had planned on opening it yesterday, the 1st of March. But then I decided, seeing as I was going to be filming today, I would wait till today to open it. So, here is number 3. Here is number 3. I can't see what the colours are through it. I know it's stripy because those of you that have been following the podcast, and following the Knitalong, you know that all the yarn that I packaged up was self-striping. And it's all commercial, but I genuinely can't see what that is through here. So I'm going to be opening this with you guys. Oh, and actually, oh, it's 2 balls. Okie dokie. This has been in my stash a long time. So it's Regia. We've got 2 balls. Gosh, this has been in my stash probably 10 years. And it's the Facet design, yeah. Colourway is 04354. That is pretty, and that should knit up in stripes. And then the yarn that I've got, or the colour that I've chosen to put with it, is this pale blue, which I think is going to look very pretty actually. So I will be casting these on today. Okay, that was interesting because that's the first one I've opened where it's been 2 50-gram balls together. and I genuinely couldn't tell that. I was expecting that to be a single 100 gram ball, so that's quite cool. I was not expecting it to be one of my 50 sets of 250 grams. So we will be casting that on today. That's exciting. Okay, right, what else have I got to show? I've got 2 finished objects to show you. 2 finished objects, woo! The first one I am wearing, and I would stand up to show you, but as we can all see, somebody is still sitting on my lap. He is still here, bless him. So the first item I want to show you, the finished object, is this jumper, and I am actually getting quite warm in it, possibly partly because I've got a hot water bottle on my knee. So this is a commercial pattern, and I have got it here, and it is Stylecraft 9947, and it is this jumper, and you can see there are 2 designs. There's also the round neck jumper. I have done the V-neck jumper, and I have done it in the actual correct yarn, and that yarn is the Stylecraft Recreate Chunky, which is 100% recycled yarn, and it is, let's try and remember, 40% wool, 30% acrylic, 30% polyester, all recycled, 140 meters per 100 grams, and this is the colourway, I believe it was aubergine. So I have got all of that left, and also this amount. So if you remember, if you watched the last podcast, I had said that when I'd started this sweater, I realised that it was going to knit up way too big, so I restarted, and the only thing now is I wish that I had still gone with the slightly longer length on it. I wish I had just done, but I think I was a little bit paranoid about running out of yarn, even though then I went down 2 sizes. I will put up some pictures. I took some photographs of me wearing it after I'd finished knitting it last week, so I'll put up some pictures there so you can see. And yeah, maybe another, perhaps another inch or 2. Now this is a commercial pattern. It is knit in pieces, so it's not a case of, and from the bottom up, so it's not a case of, you know, like when you're knitting in the round, if you decide something's a bit short, you could rip back and just, you know, add another inch. Like, I can't do that. But to be fair, I'm definitely going to wear it, and I have been wearing it, and it is really warm. I haven't washed it yet or blocked it or anything, and I would say the yarn is a little bit, maybe a little bit scratchy, maybe a little bit stiff, and I wonder if it will soften when it's been washed. But I don't plan on washing it yet. But yeah, I really like it, and I feel comfortable in it, and the size is great. But yeah, I knitted it 2 sizes smaller. So I actually knitted the size that it said to fit 36 to 38 bust. Well, I wish. I am much more like a 44-inch bust. Now it is supposed to be knitted with quite a lot of positive ease, and sure enough it says the actual measurement of that would be 48, and I think this has come out more like 50, 52. So anyway, it's really comfy. I really like it, and very happy with it, and love the colour, love the pattern. And this was the first project of my Make 10. So you won't actually see it on my Make 9 grid, because when I made my list of Make 9, I accidentally had 10 things on it. This was one of them. So when I put my grid together, this isn't included on the grid. So yes, finished object. Finished object number 2. So after I had finished this, I didn't cast on my next project, because I had put that to a vote from you guys. So in the last podcast I had said that I was torn between 3 projects to cast on next, and that was the Festive Yoke sweater, the Whitmore sweater, and the Stumble dress. I'll tell you in a minute which one of those won. So in the meantime I thought, right, well, let's carry on working on some whips, okay? And I kept working on it, where I had to move everything when Stu decided he was going to jump up. So yes, so I decided to keep working on the Litmus cowl, and it is finished. Da, da, da. And isn't the Litmus cowl just such a lovely project? It just works so well. So when I showed this to you last time, 2 weeks ago, I was there, and in that time I knitted from there to there. So that was the first colour. Now I cast this project on Christmas Day, and again it was one of the 12 cast-ons from Yarn and Yarns. Yarn and Yarns has a knit-along that she does each year. You cast on 12 projects over Christmas and New Year, and this was cast on number 2. I cast this on Christmas Day and started with that. So yeah, so I've knitted from, let's say, from there up to there in the last 2 weeks. Oh, you going over? Come on then. So yes, the Litmus cowl. The yarn that I used for this was the contrast colourway was from Knitologie. So it's Knitologie Sparkling Sock by Knitologie is a knit crate yarn. I don't know if knit crate's still going or not. It was a like a monthly box that I used to get from America. So it's 70% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon, 10% stellina. And what I hadn't realised though is that it's not 400 metres, it's 400 yards. It's only 365 metres. So I have got 24 colours in here, but I'd actually got 25 minis. And so I didn't have enough of this to put in one more stripe. I'd started off doing 10 rows in each stripe, and then I weighed the yarn and I thought, it's going to be a bit tight. And so then I cut it down to 9 rows per stripe, but you can't tell when I started doing that. It was about halfway round. But even then, I still did not have enough to do one more. Now, if it had been a 400 metre skein of yarn, I probably would have had enough. So yeah, so I've grafted along here. It's not perfect grafting, but it's not bad. It's quite difficult to graft from circular needles. You certainly wouldn't really be able to tell. And yes, so the colours, the minis, were from an advent swap that I did with Nancy, who is also known as Laying Cable. She is my moderator who helps me reply to people on Ravelry. She's absolutely lovely. She sent me all these colours as an advent swap a couple of years ago on Winnie the Pooh theme as well, and she also made me this beautiful Winnie the Pooh bag. Now I have got each one of these used about 5 grams, so I've still got 5 grams of all the colours, which I think now they will probably go into blanket projects. But isn't it absolutely lovely? So let me show you. I'm going to take off the progress keep now. So it's such a lovely, snuggly, gorgeous cowl, and I'm really pleased I've got it finished, because even though it's the 2nd of March and technically meteorological spring, it is 2-3 degrees out there, so it's still pretty chilly, and we will still have cold weather in March in the UK, probably cold weather in April, and even the beginning of May can still be pretty cold, so this will definitely get warm. So absolutely, do you know what, there's just something so easy. I was worried that I would start this and then it would just sit in the project bag and hibernate for a lot of time. Such an easy one to keep working on later in the evenings, especially once I sort of like, I didn't have any vanilla socks on my needles. If I just wanted round and round knitting, lovely. So really pleased with that. Going to hang it on the back of there. So yeah, so that's 2 finished objects in the last 2 weeks. Quite pleased with myself there, especially as I wasn't really expecting to have that finished. Okay, so new cast-ons though. We went to the cinema on Monday evening, and we went to see Wicked Little Letters, which, by the way, I highly recommend. It stars Olivia Colman and Jessie Buckley maybe. Anyway, very, very funny. It is based on a true story of some poison pen letters that were written in the 1920s in a little seaside town in England called Littlehampton, which is down on the south coast. Not actually a million miles away from where my parents are from. Not from the 1920s though. Anyway, I really didn't know what to expect. I'd heard on the radio a trailer for it, and I don't know, there was something about the trailer and also maybe the cast list that made me think, that sounds good, but I didn't really know very much about it. And my husband said, have you seen a trailer for that film, Wicked Little Letters? I said, I have actually. He said, I fancy seeing it. I said, yeah, so do I. So we went off to watch it, not really knowing very much about it. And oh my goodness, it was so funny, but I am just going to give a warning. There is a lot of swearing in it. A lot of swearing. So if you do not like swearing, or if you find swearing offensive, don't watch it. I personally, I don't like gratuitous swearing particularly, although having said that, I have been known to say the odd swear word. But, you know, in films, sometimes it can feel, but it is part of the story and it's important. So anyway, so we went to the cinema on Monday night, and so I thought, what can I take with me to knit in the cinema? Because I'm quite happy to set usually vanilla socks. And I thought the problem with the Litmus cowl is if I need to change colours, I've got to count how many rows and then change colours. So I knew the Litmus cowl wasn't any good. I would normally have some vanilla socks on the needles, but I didn't have any. And obviously I was planning on casting on a new pair for the Socksy cowl. So I thought, right, well, I am going to have to just cast on another pair of vanilla socks then. So I went kind of to my stash of sock yarn, the stuff that got rejected out of the Socksy cowl. Now where is... somewhere here I've got... Here it is. So yes, so in this little bag I have got a new pair of socks that I started. And the plan is really to keep these socks in my handbag or in my car, and they are going to be my out and about socks. So the yarn I'm using is Stylecraft Head over Heels, and it's the Walking in Nature collection designed by Stuart Hillard, and the colourway is 3116 Stride. And that's how it knits up. So sure enough, what I did on Sunday night was I did the cuff, and I believe I did a 2x2 twisted rib. I don't know what I was thinking there. So I did a 2x2 twisted rib cuff, and I think I knitted on Sunday night. I knitted all of the cuff, and I think I knitted down to about there. And then when we went to the cinema, I knitted from there down to about there, I think. So I did all of that in the cinema. Now we're going to the cinema again on Tuesday night, and I will probably take these, or I might take the Socksy socks, but one of the, but it's, I'll take one of those two pairs, just, you know, vanilla, self-striping or self-patterning. Now there's no drop stitches. I think there's one stitch around here where I've kind of only got half the stitch on the needles, as happens sometimes where I split the yarn. But considering these were knitted in the dark, they're looking pretty good. And I love the pattern from afar. So I won't use any other colour for contrast. I will just stick to this all the way through, because these are going to be my out and about socks, so I don't want to make them any more complicated than that. So what I might try and do, we'll see, because I'm now thinking I don't know how much more of this before I do the heel, and obviously I can't really do the heel in the dark in the cinema. We're going to see what we're going to watch. We're going to watch June on Tuesday, and apparently it's nearly 3 hours long. So it might be I take the Socksy socks, or if I can get the heel done heel flap and stuff done on there before, because that's the other thing, isn't it? You can't do your heel flap and gusset and things like that in the cinema in the dark. So yes, that was kind of an extra cast on so that I had got something to work on. And that's how it looks in the ball. So, and I'm knitting those on 2.25 64 stitches. So that was a new cast on. Now another WIP that I have been working on, and I showed you this on the last podcast. I'm really getting down now to the last section of this project. So this is in this gorgeous Emma Ball bag, and it is the Stitch on Sunday blanket, where I'm knitting the different blanket squares. And since I saw you last, I have done the 3 squares that I had left to do in this colour. And I think what we've got here is 36, 37, or it might be 35, 36, and then 40. I've got 37, 38 and 39 still left to do. So this pattern is called the Stitch on Sunday pattern. It's by Kelly Menzies, and each square is a different lace square. And it was really sort of designed to help beginners learn different lace designs and things. So we've done this one. This one is number 40, finished this one last night. This one. And this one. So got these done over the last 2 weeks. I have 3 more left to do. Those 3 will be done in this colour, which is teal. So this is Stylecraft Special DK that I am using, 100% acrylic. Lots of people do use this for blankets. It's dead easy just to throw it in the washing machine, and it's ever so soft. So I am knitting this for my parents-in-law who are both blind, and somebody pointed out, actually, and it's true, that with it being lace as well, there'll be lots of different textures for them to feel, so that's going to be really nice. So yeah, we've got 3 squares left to do, and then we can sew it together, pop a board around it, and have that finished, which is really exciting. Especially as I so want to cast on a couple of other blankets, and I'm saying to myself, I cannot cast on another blanket until I have finished this. And talking of casting on, so last podcast I asked you to vote on whether you thought I should cast on the Whitmore sweater, festive yoke sweater, or the stumble dress. Well, actually, it was really clear what you wanted. The Whitmore, sorry, the festive yoke sweater only got a couple of votes. A lot of you said, you know, leave that one till a bit later, or blah 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 blah. But without a doubt, because I've got the numbers here, without a doubt, the winner was. I've got a little notebook on the side of me that I write all sorts of little bits, knitting information. Yeah. So actually, I think the festive yoke sweater did get 1 more vote. But here we are. There's the Whitmore sweater. Got all of these votes. The dress got this many, and the festive yoke, it did get 1 more than that. Actually, I forgot to add that last vote in. So I will be casting on the Whitmore sweater this weekend, which I'm really excited about, actually. If I'm honest, that was probably the one that I did want to cast on. And so I'm very, very happy with that. And if you remember, I am just going to be using acrylic, and this also made me laugh because it's sparkly acrylic yarn. And I said to you, one of the things that was putting me off casting this one off straight away was I going to wear a sparkly jumper in sort of like April, May? And so many of you just came back and said, do it. What's wrong with sparkle? Go for the sparkles. You can wear sparkle all the time, any time of year. And thank you. Thank you for validating that for me, because I agree. So let's pull one out that's already. So yeah, this is, I think it's Aldi, I said, didn't I? Yeah, so it's Aldi, and it's one that was produced in Turkey. And if you know Aldi yarns, their yarns that they got from Turkey were always really quite nice. And then they had a couple of years where they had yarn produced in China, and everybody kind of said it's not as good. I think it's gone back to Turkey again. Now this is quite an old yarn from Aldi, and it doesn't actually tell me how many meters there are in the ball. So I will have a look on Ravelry to see if anybody has kind of got that information, but it just is when they used to call it Kirkton House glitter double knitting. So anyway, I've got 12 balls of it, should be more than enough to make the Whitmore sweater. So yes, I need to have a little bit of a clear up of old project bags and needles and things, and then I'm fairly sure, because it's DK sweater or DK weight, because I think in the original you held fingering and mohair to get to a DK weight. I'm fairly sure it's going to be on 4mm needles, etc. So I'm excited to get that started. The shade number, if you are interested, is that 991247. Now Aldi yarn is quite a popular yarn over here in the UK for budget yarn, for being actually pretty good quality for the price. Yes, I will knit in acrylic. There is a little part of me, I'm not overly keen on, you know, plastic and, you know, disposable plastic, etc. So there is a little part of me that sometimes feels a bit bad about acrylic, but this is actually from my stash anyway. And interestingly, Aldi had yarn in this week, and I saw quite a lot of Facebook posts about people going down to buy yarn from Aldi, and again I would say really good blanket yarn. And we have an Aldi store less than a mile from me, and I cannot tell you what the temptation was to go down and buy a load of yarn. And I kept telling myself I've got plenty of like Stylecraft acrylic and that kind of acrylic still in my garage. If I want to make blankets, I've got at least 2 or 3 blankets worth of full unused, untouched yarn, plus not to mention all the scraps that I've got or part used balls. So I stopped myself, and I'm actually quite proud of myself. Now I did go to Aldi last night. I had to go in there to do a bit of shopping, and that there was that part of me going, oh, I'll have a look and see if there's any yarn left. I'll have a look and see what's left. There was nothing left, nothing left. So I have prevented myself from buying anything, which I'm actually quite proud of, because I'm trying not to buy anything at the moment unless it's for a specific project, or unless it's something, you know, quite a special yarn, etc. And that would not have fitted into either of those categories, so I'm really quite proud of myself. And in fact, actually, because I finished this sweater, because I finished the Litmus cowl, I did actually definitely knit more in February than I bought. So I did show you in the last podcast, I bought that beautiful Cascade yarn, and there was about 2,000 meters of it or something like that. But because I've done this jumper and because I've done the Litmus cowl, I have knitted more than I bought in February, and still in 2024 so far, I have knitted more, used more than I have bought. And of course, I'm now giving away some yarn, so that will count as yarn out of my stash as well. So that's another good reason to start on this. This is deep stash. This has been, I've had this at least 10 years. Yeah, at least. So again, this is good. I am using up stash. And it's, trust me, there's still plenty to go out in there. So, so yes, so we will get that cast on, and you can see how far I get with that in a couple of weeks' time. Right, I think I have shown you all the knitting goodness. Just a couple of things to do with the shop. I'm not going to show you particular. Oh no, actually, hang on. Sorry. One more thing that I have been working on, one more whip, is, and this kind of connects a little bit to the shop, the Frosted Berries socks. Now, I did finish the first sock. I have finished the first sock, but I don't have it with me. And the reason I don't have it with me is because it is at Nibbles, Needles and Hooks, which is a yarn shop about half an hour away from where I live, the lovely Liz. And I've talked about that shop before, and in fact I did a whole little video, an interview with Liz back in November. But she has a project that she has, that's not the right word. She has a scheme where every month she has a different indie dyer and has their yarn in the shop. And this month, March, it is me. Yes, Little Likac yarn is for sale at Nibbles, Needles and Hooks. And so Liz has actually got the finished sock in the Frosted Berries, the first finished sock, because she has got some of that colourway in the shop for sale. So I can't show you the first finished sock, but I can show you this is how far I have got with the second one. Where is that looking a bit stiff down there? Don't know. So yeah, so this is the second sock, and I am just starting on the heel flap. The pattern that I'm using here is Winter Frost by this Handmade Life. So yeah, that's the other WIP that I have been working on. So yes, so basically, shop update. There are lots of new colourways in the Etsy shop. Liz has them actually, those colourways. Oh, Stu's going to get down now, aren't you, Stu? You want to get down? Hang on. So, husband came back. God knows husband's back. Stu's now left me. Yeah, so anyway, as I was saying, so lots of new colourways in the Etsy shop, and lots of those colourways are also available in person at Nibbles, Needles and Hooks, which is in Lower Pilsley in Derbyshire. But also I have 2 yarn shows coming up as well in April. I will be at the Sodbury Yarn Over near Bristol, which is the weekend of the 8th and 9th of April. And I'm also going to be at Alpaca Revolution in, I'm not sure the exact place, it's near Milton Keynes, but it's Alpaca Evolution is the name of the alpaca farm. And they are having a fibre festival there on the 21st and 22nd of April. I will double check that I've got the weekend dates correct, and I'll put them down there if they are different, but they are the weekends around then. So that is really exciting. So we've got 2 yarn shows in April, so I do need to do some more dyeing in preparation for those as well. And yeah, so the shop's going really well at the moment, so thank you for everybody who's been supporting that. And take a look on Etsy if you're interested, because there are lots of lovely new colourways. So don't forget to leave a comment on the video below if you'd like to enter the competition to win that skein of yarn, the mystery skein of yarn. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Bye for now.